The initial payment was $5,000, and of course, Good Accountants has the guarantee where they promise to deliver at least $5,000 in fees to your firm for the $5,000 payment, and they won't stop until you get your $5,000. Well, what it was explained to me during this process of sort of getting to know each other was, you'll get more than $5,000. It's very likely that you'll get introduced to a terrific client. As a matter of fact, we have a terrific client for you. So when I went out and met this client and found out it was a 3-stockholder, 5-company, $35,000 engagement, I'm not a math whiz, but that's 7 times my investment. And of course, after the initial meeting, you're never sure if you got it, but I did get it. And it's been a terrific relationship. It's a very good match. They knew about me before the meeting. I knew about them before the meeting. So it was a nice, warm introduction. And the value was, frankly, amazing. There's no other way that I know of that, you spend $5,000 and you get $35,000 in annual billings. So I was very impressed after this first interaction with Good Accountants.
If someone had told certified public accountant Richard Hayes he could increase his small firm's billings by more than $80,000 in a little less than 90 days, he would not have believed them. Hayes, a sole practitioner with 4 employees based in Orlando, Florida, could not help being a little skeptical when he received a phone call from GoodAccountants.com offering him an opportunity to meet with a local company looking for a new accountant. The annual billing for the one client, if retained by Hayes, would be in the mid-$30,000 range, at least according to the consultant he spoke with over the telephone from GoodAccountants.com. For Hayes, it would turn out to be the very first of 2 clients he would engage from GoodAccountants.com, ultimately providing him more than $80,000 in new billings, achieved in a span of a little less than 90 days.
My name is Richard Hayes. I'm a licensed CPA in the state of Florida. I've been practicing in the state for 22 years, and I've been on my own in my own practice, initially as a sole practitioner for 3 years, and then 12 more years as a firm, Hayes & Associates CPA PA. We provide a full range of accounting and tax services, from data input and software support to management use only financial statements, compiled financial statements, reviewed financial statements, accounting department and CFO support. And then on the tax side, we do individual and business tax returns, partnerships, S-Corps, C-Corps, LLCs, and we do quite a lot of business consulting on tax planning, tax decision making, and of course tax compliance for businesses as well as individuals. I joined Good Accountants probably late January, early February 2010. I've been a member since, and I've increased my commitment to them once. But I joined them really just a few weeks after my initial contact with them. Had never heard of them before. I received an email in January 2010, January of this year, and then I received a follow-up call, and something about the email caught my attention. Sometimes you just read a few sentences and delete, but something about the email struck a chord with me, and then I got the phone call, and we got to talking. I was intrigued with the program right away, but and I'm sure every accountant says this, there's always that healthy skepticism, and frankly, it sounds too good to be true. Good Accountants talks about what they're going to do for you in your practice, and it just sounds amazing. And I guess it would be easy to dismiss it out of hand, but I didn't do that. I did some research about Good Accountants and about Johanna Laurent, and I couldn't find anyone who said anything other than good things about them. So then we moved forward. We started talking more about the program and what I have to commit to them and what they commit to me, and learn more about each other. And the reason that I was more intrigued maybe than I would have been is just that the economy has been so bad, and a lot of our clients have taken hits, and so we've taken hits. We've still got our client base, but a lot of them are having us do a lot less. And so we needed to grow in a dynamic way, and this seemed like something worth looking into. Since joining GoodAccountants.com, we've been on 2 appointments, and we've retained both clients. The client billing combined is $80,000. And those are the only 2 appointments we've been on. The 2 appointments, and both clients landed good fits. The clients retained us. The first client has about 20 employees. They have a manufacturing operation, a sales operation, and they also have a service business, 3 stockholders and 5 companies. and they're about $35,000 in annual revenue. And they're a perfect fit because the services they need are the things that we deliver on a daily basis. The second client is 2 stockholders and 9 companies, and their primary business is a high volume distribution company that's primarily internet based, and a lot of small transactions, so a lot of accounting work. But they have other related companies that do other things. They have commercial real estate, residential real estate, and some other smaller businesses, service businesses. And they have also about 25 employees and a lot of independent contractors. So there's a lot of accounting to do, a lot of complex accounting with multiple software packages. And their annual billings are $45,000, combined 80 grand. As an accountant, I think we face some new challenges these days. And I think the biggest one that you just can't ignore, it's the elephant in the room, it's the economy. And the economy has really changed the game. And it's impacted almost everybody in business. And the way I see it affecting my practice is, we've retained our clients, but our clients are smaller and they're having us do less because they're doing less. So their companies have shrunk, our company has shrunk. And when you have good employees and you have a thriving business and then things change, dealing with that change is the big challenge. And I really think that's the elephant in the room for all businesses, and it affects accountants tremendously. And I think the problem that it's created is you need to generate revenue so that you can keep your employees and you can keep your thriving organization moving in the right direction. And I think most accountants are not equipped to go out and replace that revenue on their own. I think that's something that goodaccountants.com is a big help with. We generated $80,000 in billings, and we have commitments for $80,000 in billings on 2 introductions, 2 meetings, and 2 new clients. We have a terrific client that is truly gifted in internet marketing, and they don't just construct websites, they're truly an internet marketer. And I think that part of the reason I was willing to give Good Accountants a try was my experience with my client and seeing how many things are marketed over the internet that weren't traditionally marketed over the internet effectively. I think I've come to realize that accounting services are now actively searched for on the internet. And I think that's a game changer. I think there are really good clients out there looking for accountants on the internet. They're either not asking their lawyer, their banker, their investment advisor, or their neighbor, or they don't like the information that they got from those people. And they're looking for somewhere else, and they're looking for choices. And interestingly, I think the internet is where most people are starting to look. Frankly, it makes sense that you'd think it's too good to be true, because the return on investment for me has been terrific. But I think what I've learned from this process is people are looking for accountants in what accountants consider non-traditional ways. And I think they're using the internet. And what Good Accountants has done is they've created a presence in the business place. And when a client's out and they've decided to make a change, which is the key, they've decided to change accountants. They see the Good Accountants presence and they go to Good Accountants and they say, we need someone to help us find a really good accountant. And because they're not being solicited or sold, they've decided to make the change and they've gone to Good Accountants. I think that's what makes the meeting so pleasant, so effective, so the client is ready to commit because they've decided, let's go find a new accountant. And I think that presence that Good Accountants has is what they bring, that value that your average practitioner just can't generate that presence in the marketplace. I've earned 80 grand from the first 2 clients that I received from goodaccountants.com. If I buy that practice for 80 grand, if I buy those 2 clients as a practice, it costs me 80 grand. To an accountant who says that this method of marketing doesn't work, I would just say this. The marketplace has changed, and I think that referrals and relationships are still critical to an accountant. But there's no question in my mind that this method that goodaccountants.com uses and the internet is an extremely effective, viable, and I would even use the word efficient way to find a client that's a good match, not just a client that's been referred that may or may not be a good fit for the client or for you. I say it's a terrific way to find a client, and it certainly worked for me.